Alright guys, we're back. I had some furniture difficulties, so we'll see if this ends up working. Would I like to play first? Absolutely. Would I like to keep this hand? Yes. Red mana is not quite as important, I don't think. At least early. As far as this matchup is concerned. If they have a turn 3 Rogue Refiner, hopefully we've found it by then, but we're going to have a Disallow up. When they get to the Rogue Refiner turn, or Whirler Virtuoso turn. Yeah, I mean, like, they play more Dynavolt Towers than we do, so, like, they have more, we'll call them win cons, and, like, I don't even know if our spells are better. So, in theory, they might just be outclassing us with all their cards, but we at least drew a glimmer this game. Yeah, at least we get to hold up Disallow and Negate. Hopefully we hit a couple more lands, because I'd love to have a Disallow Negate turn, because they'll probably wait till they have 6 mana, 6 mana, to try and slam a Dynavolt Tower. So it'd be nice to have a cheap ways to interact with that. Well, I lost game 1. They saw, like, all their glimmers. Well, specifically, I think they saw 2 glimmers, a negate. They saw a double Dynavolt Tower and had double Void Shatter when it mattered. I don't think I was necessarily outplayed. I think I was just outgunned. If that makes sense. Yeah. Well, I mean, they saw a double Glimmer and Anticipate, and we saw no Glimmers and no Anticipates. I don't even know if they would have resolved after they resolved 2 Glimmers, but I mean, it would have been nice to have the option. And now we hopefully just keep drawing lands. That's not a land. Well, our opponent's going to start being able to leverage their mana on us so we don't start drawing lands. So we're probably just going to disallow whatever their next play is. Pay 3 energy, draw a card. It doesn't die to shock. They're probably going to untap and Dynavolt Tower, so I'm okay with letting this resolve for now. We do have this Harness Lightning in our hand. I mean, it doesn't deal 4 damage, but I mean, we have ways to interact with it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And, like, they aren't going to get to draw a card off it yet. And if they're using their energy to draw cards, I'd rather them do that than use it on Dynavolt Tower. Not that I'm going to win a game where they draw 10 more cards than me. But, I mean, we even have the Edict, and they can't really attack. So, I mean, if they don't do anything, I'm perfectly happy just to Edict them end of turn. Because that could... I mean, we're going to have to discard anyways, and this just seems much better than having to discard next turn if we don't draw a land. Yeah, there's not a lot that we can do to stop that. They're going to Glimmer and then draw an additional card. So they're actually going to have to discard if they activate Aether Thief. Yep. So, that didn't work out too terribly, I guess. I mean, they got the Glimmer, obviously, but they spent all the energy, and they still only netted 2 cards out of Glimmer, because now they have to move to cleanup. And now if we draw a Dynavolt Tower, we get to slam that, but I mean, they probably have some number of obsolescence, and of course we didn't draw a land here. Don't laugh at me like that. We kept a 3-lander. Oh, well, I appreciate the feels being directed my way. Yeah, like I said, they're going to wait to slam this. I mean, we're going to disallow, but they have the negate. Yep. Nothing we could do there. We needed to hit our land drops. So it's unfortunate that we're... I don't know if we can beat that either. I mean, now we need to draw land so we can Glimmer and try and catch back up. So, land or bust? Fuck you two. So, we're going to hold up Disallow and Negate. Thanks, deck. Should have been more specific. Also, probably shouldn't have cussed, but what are you going to do? Besides not cuss, shut your mouth, Andrew. We're going to Disallow because it's more expensive, and we have Shock and Harness Lightning to destroy creatures. So, we definitely can't let them have a second Dynavolt Tower, because we're probably... If we're not drawing lands, we're not beating the first one. So we're basically going to have to get this Gear Hulk into play as soon as possible, and hope they don't play Harness Lightning after board. Which, you know, I get it, it's a pipe dream. Hey, not a land! So, If they had negate, I think they would have countered the Dynavolt Tower, the disallowing the Dynavolt Tower. Unless they what? But they already had a blue source. So if they had negate, they could have already cast it without playing the attune. And they don't have 3 mana up to cast a counterspell. So unless they have like the Soul Read, and I mean like we're gonna have to Glimmer at some point, and this is gonna put us up to 7 cards. They've already been through 2 Dynavolt Towers, so I think the risk is worth casting this main phase. I mean, there's a reasonable chance. I mean, if they do have the negate, we kind of get, effed either way. But they didn't, because like I said, unless they had the Soul Read on us, we're going to play this island to hold up Ceremonious Rejection, as opposed to playing the mountain to hold up Shock. I think it's more likely that they have, like, another Dynavolt Tower at this point. Or, that. Again, I'm okay with them having the Aether Thief. It draws them cards, sure. Okay, yeah. Not beating that card either, apparently. Why couldn't they have just printed Annul? We got Annul during the Theros block. Yeah, Annul would be so good in this format right now, I feel. Better than Ceremonious Rejection. That being said, Ceremonious Rejection does counter Void Shatter. But, I mean, that's what Dispel's for. So it's super unfortunate that they get to draw a card and bolt us. But, I mean, we get to Gear Hulk our own Glimmer now. And that probably won't work out for us too well. But we still have to start this. We kind of started this tap-out war. Shock might help us going forward. But we kind of started this tap-out war, because if we Torrential Gear Hulk here, we get the Flashback Glimmer, we get to draw 2 cards, and then we get enough energy so Harness Lightning can kill their Torrential Gear Hulk, plus we have the Ceremonious Rejection and the Negate to try and back it up next turn. And we're still at 20. I mean, they have 1,000,000 energy over there, so they're going to be able to do whatever they want to do. But, I mean, we are pretty behind this game, and you have to take chances to try and catch up. It won't. Do I hit OK? Yeah. We're going to top Chandra. And I think we're going to bottom the Evolving Wilds because we want an untapped land. That might be super greedy. But I already have a Black Source, and I can already activate Fumarole. And I already have 6, which is kind of the cap. Okay, and we drew the untapped land. So next turn we'll have 7 mana. And if you count our hand right now, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all of our non-Chandra cards cost 7. Which means we can vomit out our hand next turn. I mean, we're probably not going to untap with our Hulk in play, but I'm not planning to block. But they probably have the Harness Lightning for it, and they might harness it for 3 and then bolt it. I don't know what their game plan is there. But we're probably not going to untap with this Gear Hulk. I'm not going to block. I want to try and make them waste an entire spell. And actually, I'd like to attack them back. Not saying that our clock is faster, but I have no intention of allowing them to shock my Gear Hulk. It's kind of like blocking with your Goyf and letting them bolt your Goyf. Yeah, that's kind of awful. But what are you going to do? So the goal is to get their Gear Hulk off the table. Fucking mine? That's fine. I mean, it's not great for me, but it's fine. At least I can draw it again. And like I said, we still have the removal spell. We might actually be able to... I mean, they have all that blue mana. I mean, we're probably... Again, they probably are just outgunning us at this point. Like, their entire deck probably just outguns us. So we're going to go ahead and play this Aether Hub. And we are going to Harness Lightning the you-know-what out of this Torrential Gear Hulk. Yes, I would like to use 6 energy, please. And next turn we can jam this Chandra with Negate backup. I probably could have tapped that better to try and animate Fumarole and attack for 4. But I am not convinced that we're going to get that far in this game. I mean, I still should have, because then when you attack with that, you get to hold up a Ceremonious Rejection. But, again, Ceremonious Rejection is not going to be great, seeing as they have double Dynavolt Tower. A third one at this point is almost just not worth cast. I mean, no, you still cast it, but it's not necessary to beat us at this point. Because we're going to go down to 9, or we're going to go down to 12, and they're going to draw a card. Any way you want to slice it. Or they're just, gonna have it all. See, the problem I think with this matchup, at least for me, is that they have attunes, which are so good. Probably really. I'm not sure that this deck is that good against like the rest of the meta. I don't see how this deck ever beats Mardu vehicles. I mean, maybe it has a good matchup. Who knows? Maybe all the cards that I didn't see game one got boarded out. But it seems like they just get shreked by Mardu vehicles. So I mean, and whereas my deck, like basically, the Grixis deck, I think I'm like 5 or 6-0 against vehicles. I think I've lost a game. It's pretty good against that deck. I'm gonna go ahead and shock them into turn. Lack of anything better to do. Please negate this. No? Well, fuck you. Anyways, untap. We have land. We are going to play this 6-mana Chandra. They're going to have a counterspell. I'm going to go ahead and negate their negate. I mean, they probably have another one, but that's fine. Again, like, we're not going to progress. We're not going to. We have no chance of winning this game if we don't actually, like, if we aren't actually proactive. Well, yeah, you're right. Chandra's not going to live till the end of the turn anyway, but it's still 6 mana, 6 damage, gain 6 life. And that's, you can't ask for much more than that. Well, if they have to double. Oh, yeah, well, fuck me. Man, it's really nice when your opponent draws 2 Gear Hulks and like two Glimmers and 2 Anticipates. Yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I'm not saying we would have won this match, but it would have been nice to have a fighting chance between mulligans, and maybe I sideboarded incorrectly. Who knows? But I feel like our opponents just like drew way better than us, so I don't feel like we even really had a chance to win this match. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede the game now because they have lethal on board. No, fuck you. You don't get to actually kill me. So that was super unfortunate, and I apologize for the cussing, but it was kind of frustrating, seeing as though I feel like I didn't really have a chance to win that game, or that match. So hopefully we don't get browned like that the rest of the league, and maybe after this league it's worth looking into to try and maybe add another sideboard card or 2 for that matchup. I'm not sure what it would be, but it's probably at least worth thinking about. So, we'll see you next time.